Namaste, viewers, and welcome to the Healing Arts, Doctors Crossing Boundaries. I'm so delighted to welcome on this auspicious Guru Purnima Day Dr. Ramesh Bijlani ji. Thank you, sir, for joining us. It's been wonderful talking to you so far on your journey. So, viewers, the premise of this episode or the series actually is that healing, is not just a science. It is definitely a science, and modern biomedicine has done wonders, but it's also an art. And Dr. Bijlani ji is one of the pioneers in integral medicine in India, in lifestyle medicine in India. He started a special unit at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. And then, as we saw in the earlier episode, there was a turning point in his life when he actually came very deeply into the spiritual and the yoga world. And he and his wife, who is also professor at All India Institute, actually moved to Sri Aurobindo Ashram Delhi branch, just down the road on Sri Aurobindo Marg. So you never left Sri Aurobindo, as it were. You started there, and now you found your new home there. So in this concluding episode, in our inaugural series, Dr. Bijlani, please tell us some of the books you've written. And I just want to tell our viewers that apart from the textbook in physiology that you heard about earlier, it's a best-selling book. It's still being prescribed all over India. Dr. Bijlani ji has written many best-selling books, and some are for children. There are illustrated books. There are even comics. So we will give you a flavor of some of the books he has published, and we will then post links in Amazon, and also you'll see the images of the books yourself so that you can click and maybe, get hold of some of these books. I myself have read some of them. I've even reviewed one or two of them, and I can tell you that they are very well written and they're very readable, and they also provide tremendous information. So in terms of their utility also, I recommend them. But over to you, Dr. Bijlani. What made you, apart from being a, author of an important textbook, what made you go into the, cross these boundaries and write books on other topics?
Well, again, I don't see it as an abrupt change. It has been a seamless extension, as I said, from my research to nutrition, from nutrition to lifestyle, from lifestyle to yoga, and then the convergence of my personal and professional life because of turning to Sri Aurobindo. Same about writing also. Currently when people ask me what do you do in the ashram, I often tell them that the divine has given me the gift of communication. And that I do both through speaking and writing. So when I have a lovely audience like this, that's what the audience in front of me. When I have a lovely audience like this in front of me, I speak. Otherwise, I write. So, and this sort of didn't start it in such a simple way that I have the gift, so let me make use of it to express my love for my fellow beings. It didn't start like that. When I finished with my MBBS during internship, there was plenty of time available. So I thought that why not, since I have the knack of simplifying scientific concepts, why not write on some medical topic of general interest to the people, a popular science book. So that's how I selected nutrition as the topic, which interests everybody. And I started writing a book. So of course, doctors don't learn too much about nutrition, but then I read, and since the background was there, I could build up enough, and then I expressed it in my own way, thinking how it can be brought to the general public. And then again, you can see the divine grace, because if that book had not got published, I might have got discouraged. But then it not only got published, a good publisher accepted it, Orient Longman. And that book was titled Eating Scientifically. And I started writing it during my internship at age 23. At age 27, at age 27, the book was in the market under the title Eating Scientifically. So that was an encouraging thing. And after that, I kept writing, sometimes at long intervals, books related to medical, on education. One of the books that I wrote pretty early was a children's book. And that again happened like this. We had a conference in India, an international conference on physiology, following which a reporter came and he told the head of the department that we would like to publish articles related to physiology and medicine in a popular magazine. So the head of the department knew that I have that type of talent. So he said that, would you like to write? So I wrote, and then he would make a few changes, and it was published jointly under his name and my name. Those articles, the series of articles. When that series was over, we thought if we just add a few more, then this might become a good popular book on the human body. So with that manuscript, I went to the National Book Trust, and I happened to meet Mala Dayal, who was looking after children's books. So she took me to the editor who was looking after popular science books. So that, of course, got accepted, but Mala Dayal said, why don't you write a similar book for children? And that was my foray into children's writing. So I ended up writing a picture book for 5 to 8-year-olds on the human body. That's a book I'm really very proud of. Why I'm proud of it is because I can see that when students enter medicine, by and large, they have been so accustomed to learning by rote memory, so accustomed to sort of perfecting the art of multiple choice questions, that and the type of system that have gone through, their sense of curiosity and wonder has not really developed. And through this book, I could excite that. And that's how, I created that wonder. And the last page, in fact, there was a paragraph which the editor thought was redundant. It was not required. So I had to argue with her to be retained. And that went something like this, that now you know something about the human body, and all what you've learned has been the result of asking questions. And there's still more to be learned, something like this. So if you keep asking questions, maybe one day you'll also make a discovery which can get into books such as this one. So let me start with the fattest one, then I can. This is the textbook of physiology.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations.
So 38 years later, in 2012, I published another popular book on nutrition, Eating Wisely.
That's wonderful, wonderful.
This is again going very well.
This is, who's the publisher?
Rupa.
Rupa. Nice. Wonderful. Yeah.
And just a minute, the first book was titled Eating Scientifically. This is Eating Wisely and Well. So the change in the title reflects my own evolution over these 38 years interval between
from science to wisdom, from science to wisdom, because wisdom includes science. Friends, please don't think we are being Luddite or anti-scientific. Not at all. Wisdom includes science, and it also includes spirituality, yoga, and many other things. So can you show us
all these elements which we call wisdom with the scientific side of nutrition, along with the Ayurvedic wisdom. Gone into that much depth into Ayurveda.
Okay.
But, I enjoyed.
Can you show us some other book, the book for children, for example? Oh.
How many ice creams?
How many ice creams?
One or two. So this is a book in which a child has a dilemma when he reaches the ice cream vendor, whether to buy just one ice cream which he had planned, or since he has money for two ice creams which are less expensive, which he generally buys every day, whether to buy two because there's a poor boy standing near the ice cream vendor.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I mean, I thought that given our current so-called preferences, I don't want to name Gen Z here, I thought that you would say, okay, I'll it's better to buy one than to buy two and eat it yourself, But to buy one for another person who can't afford it, that's wonderful. Can you show us any other book you want to tell us? The book on yoga, for example.
This one is a primer on yoga, which has it's based on the same sort of plan as the synthesis of yoga. It has two chapters which are general in nature, including one on integral yoga, and then one chapter on Hatha Yoga, one on Raja Yoga, one on Yoga of the Gita, and one on Tantra Yoga.
And then also Rupa? Is this also Rupa?
This is National Book Trust.
National Book Trust. Wow. And friends, National Book Trust prints thousands and thousands of copies. It's India's leading publisher. And we don't hear about it because it's not it's not commercial, it's government owned, but its reach is astonishing. so that, if you go to the book fair, you'll see literally hundreds of thousands of copies being sold. Wonderful. And which is your other book on yoga?
This was the first book in which they agreed to have a DVD, uh, so that
Oh,
so that the readers could see the demo on in their demo and hear the instructions. But then times have changed, so now what we have is instead a QR code on the last page. You scan that and you reach the video on YouTube.
okay. What's the other book on yoga? I think that Rupa published, because I think I have.
That's Back to Health Through Yoga.
Yes. Can you show us the cover?
I have it right now here. Back
Okay,
to
no
Health.
worries, no worries.
Yes.
So you can see, viewers, that Dr. Bijlani is also a best-selling author. He's very busy writing. So tell us a little more about your Yes platform. What made you start this platform while you're also doing so much work inside the Sri Aurobindo Ashram, managing their programs? You're a trustee as well. But what made you start this new platform of yours, and a trust also? You founded a trust.
Well, again, I should say it was a part of the divine design. It was, as I keep saying briefly, it was compelled by COVID and inspired by the 150th birth anniversary of Sri Aurobindo. So we had COVID from 2020 onwards, and Sri Aurobindo's 150th birth anniversary was coming in 2022. Initially, when that happened, I thought, well, now that we have lockdown and the course on teaching yoga, which I was conducting every year till then, can now not be done, but then I can write. So it'll give me more time for writing. But then some young people started persuading me, why don't you go online? So that's how it started. I had initially some resistance and I was averse to it. I didn't understand the technology. But then, since I think the divine will was behind it, I don't know how, within a very short period, about half a dozen young people materialized, including one who had all the right combination for staying in the ashram for a few months at a stretch.
Wow.
Because without
But
that,
you're also helping many young people, and you're giving fellowships as well, isn't it?
yes, that happened sort of gradually. So initially the platform came up so that I could do the online course on teaching yoga. But then the YouTube channel, which was created, dedicated to it, and the team that built up uh, inspired us to keep going. So that's how the trust was founded, and the activities sort of in the form of weekly talks, etc., that started. And then along with that, gradually we developed a focus on some promising young people. Promising not necessarily in the academic sense, but promising in terms of their level of consciousness, so that these young people who have the potential of ushering in that better world which Sri Aurobindo and their mother have visualized, they can be spotted, encouraged, and supported. And this is important because these people are not the usual types, these young people. So they don't sometimes fit in. Nobody understands them. So they are happy to know that at least somebody understands them. And if they want to quit a job which may be paying them well, but they want to do something different, then at least they have some stopgap arrangement, a fellowship for a year or two. So that is one thing that we are doing. And then to spot still younger people, we have what we call the Sunlit Path Award, where we invite stories, essays, videos, paintings, poems, any such creative product from 10 to 25-year-olds. And the topic this year is how can I contribute to the better world vision of the future of Sri Aurobindo.
Oh, that's wonderful. I hope, viewers, you take a look at some of these. We'll post the links even to the YouTube channel that Dr. Bijlani ji runs, and also contribute to his cause if you can, and support this work, because you can see that it is a work not only of healing and helping, but also of consciousness raising. So we will invite you again, Dr. Bijlani. We are out of time just now, but I want us to, go to that epilogue of Savitri, which you're going to, as a preview, talk about on the 15th of August, which is Sri Aurobindo's birthday. It's just coming up. So Delhiites, please go to the ashram. It's a wonderful all-day program, and it will certainly inspire you if you go there. So Guru Purnima is a good day to talk about the 15th of August and especially about the epilogue of Savitri. And you have culled from this massive epic of 24,000 lines some of the most important and moving lines of Savitri when she actually returns triumphant to Earth, our own planet, Bhumi, this great Vasundhara on which we earthlings are born. It's a Vedic goddess, viewers. If you know our Amazing Vedas podcast, we are very fortunate to be born on Earth, and it's a great planet for evolution. So please tell us the gist of that epilogue, Dr. Bijlani.
Rather than the gist, I think since the time is also, we are running out of time, and just the sentence which occurs almost at the end of Savitri, which is what Savitri says, all that she has learned through the entire journey that she has gone through, her own personal yoga, and then this journey through the other worlds where she traveled with the god of death and Satyavan's soul. So she says, after all this, what she really has learned is that to feel love and oneness is to live. So, meaningful life, which we can say is really living, is full of love, which has been inspired by a sense of oneness.
That is beautiful too. I think
it's considered quite complex, difficult to understand, but this is such a and yet so profound. It gives us the purpose of life and how we can live a meaningful life.
Absolutely. And as I said, it's actually the message of the Veda. If it's anything, it's that message of oneness, the interconnectedness of everything, both living, in fact, and non-living. But if we can feel the interconnectedness of things, even up to living beings, it itself is a big step. So oneness, and the easiest way to oneness is through love. So with those words, thank you, Dr. Bijlani, for joining us. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And of course, send us your suggestions and comments. And always remember that healing is both a science and an art. And the power to heal, to a large extent lies within yourself. You have that inner capacity. And if you do the right things, eat properly, take ample rest, reduce your stress, and make some lifestyle changes like, exercise and so forth, you can make a huge difference. So please feel empowered. Don't feel a victim. And with those words, thank you once again and good wishes on Guru Purnima. May all beings be happy. Thank you, Dr. Bijlani. Thank you. Namaste.